Hello everyone, Pahimar here with the next episode of my Let's Mod series. Today's episode, we're going to talk about software licenses and version control. First off, I'd like to thank everyone for the resounding success of episode 1, where we talked about what you should know first before you start Minecraft modding. When I started this series, I was just kind of hoping to teach people a little bit more about how I approach how to make mods, what I've learned, and I couldn't have foreseen this level of interest. I could never imagine the video getting over 20,000 views. The comments have been very encouraging, and I'm really looking forward to moving forward with the project. So thank you everyone in advance. So today's topic, we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about software licenses, and we're going to talk about version control. Don't expect this to be any kind of expert explanation of the two topics. Particularly when it comes to version control. I'm not going to get into the theory behind that. If you want to read up on that, you're welcome to. I'm going to talk about some of the basic concepts about it, why it's important, and to explain where we are going to be versioning our software for this. In this series, we will be making a mod together. We'll get into that later on, so let's move on. The first topic is a little bit controversial for a number of reasons that we'll get into later on. We're going to talk about software licensing. So, software code is viewed as a unique creative work, and as such, when it is created, it has copyright, which is an aspect of intellectual property. So copyright, as by Wikipedia, is a legal concept enacted by most governments giving the creator of an original work exclusive rights to it, usually for a limited time. Generally, there's a right to copy, which gives the copyright holder the right to be credited for the work, hence the term copyright, to determine who may adapt the work to other forms, who can perform it, financially benefit from it, and some other rights. Copyright is a part of intellectual property similar to patents, trademark, and trade secret. There's a key difference between them. Namely, you do not own copyright to an idea. You own copyright to a unique expression. So the difference between that is a patent is intellectual property on an idea. Well, not really an idea, I should say. It's more about intellectual property on a particular approach to an idea. Copyright is more of a, this is how I did it in code. I own the rights to that. So examples of copyright are things like paintings, songs, movies, books, literary works, and for a long time software has kind of been lumped in with literary works when it comes to copyright. If you want to read more on copyright, feel free to do so. I'm obviously not a legal professor here on this. So now to talk about software licenses, what a software license does is it kind of lays out the terms in which you can redistribute software or change it, etc. So software licenses apply to any software that is copyrighted, except for things in the public domain. Public domain is a type of licensing, a type of aspect of intellectual property that it says that everything belongs to everything that's in the public domain belongs to humanity. Anyone can do anything with it. So when a work enters the public domain, anyone can adapt it, anyone can distribute it, anyone can financially benefit from it because it belongs to humanity at that point. It no longer belongs to the copyright holder. So when it comes to software, there's generally two different types of licenses. There's proprietary or closed source licenses, and then there's free and open source licenses. So proprietary licenses are pretty much what everything falls under unless you explicitly say, this is the license for this. Basically, anything you write automatically belongs to you, and you get to say how things work. It's kind of considered a closed source license. Free and open source software licenses basically state that I will allow anyone to see this if they ask. Here are extra terms associated with that. Free and open source software licenses are generally considered copyleft, which is a play on the term of copyright, which is that people get to see it. So closed source licenses I'm not really going to talk about because I advocate particularly for actually most development in general. If you have the option of, I advocate open source. In my experience, open source licenses generally allow people to collaborate better. You can get a lot of experience from people who already know a lot about the topic you're working on. And in particular, open source software in modding can really get you going faster. So I encourage people to use open source in their development. I'm saying that in general. So the contention in the Minecraft community is whether or not modders have rights to the software. So Minecraft mods can be considered what's known as a derivative work. A derivative work is a unique expression based off of a other unique expression in general. Research it. So basically what it is Mojang has produced Minecraft, a unique expression. Mods are a unique expression based off of Minecraft. So Mojang really controls the rights to derivative works under their copyright. So Mojang lays out the terms for derivative works inside their terms of use document. And I can only quote this as being accurate as of the date of this recording, February 18th, 2013, because they do reserve the right to change the document at any time, with or without notice, and with or retroactive effect. So this could change. Don't take this as the God's honest truth. This is how it was for me today when I recorded it. So the number one thing they say, don't distribute anything they've made. So don't give out the source code for Minecraft. That's essentially what that says. The other thing is they say is that don't make your stuff look as if it came from Mojang itself. So don't make your things look too official. Make sure you follow the brand guidelines, which is all laid out in the document. You don't want to impede on the trademark is essentially what this point is trying to get across. You don't want your stuff to be confused with their stuff, because that is another aspect of their intellectual property, their trademark on this. If you impede on that, you kind of step on their territory. The other things that they lay out is if you've bought the game, you may play around with it and modify it. They'd appreciate if you don't use this for griefing, and don't give out changed versions of their software. So specifically what that means to Minecraft modding is don't make a change to their files and then give out that file, because you are still giving away something that they made. If your stuff is unique from theirs, that's yours, though. In short, they say basically mods or plugins or tools are cool. You can distribute those. Hacked versions of the Minecraft client or server are not, so you can't distribute things that allow other people to circumvent the normal method of getting Minecraft. The next part of the document contains a fair number of stuff that actually applies to us as a modder, so I'm going to quote two sections here. The first section states, any tools you write for the game from scratch belongs to you. The second section states, plugins for the game also belong to you, and you can do whatever you want with them as long as you don't sell them for money. We reserve the final say regarding what constitutes a tool plugin and what does not. So what these tool points basically are saying is that Mojang is giving people who make stuff uniquely for themselves the rights to that. They belong to you. They simply say don't sell them for money, and they have reserved the right to say what constitutes what. So with that, we kind of get an idea as to what Mojang's point of view when it comes to works and derivative works are. So moving on from that, I'd like to talk about what I view as a good license to take for your mod. So I'm going to recommend that people give serious thought to open source licenses. Specifically, I am partial to the lesser GPL, the LGPL. So when it comes to open source licensing, there's varying degrees of how open you are. So on the extreme left, the strong copy left, is the GPL, which basically states this mod is open source and any derivative work from this piece of software is also itself licensed under this license. It's free, it's open to anyone. The LGPL basically states that this mod is open source. This software is open source. However, a derivative work could have a different license than this. And then there's other common ones, not common ones, I should say, popular ones out there. Like there is the MIT Open License, there's the Apache Commons license, there's the free BSD license as well out there. So there's a number of them. Educate yourself, read up a little bit more on open source software licensing, the different ones out there. I highly recommend it. You're going to find yourself learn a lot more if you were to involve yourself in open source software development. And that last note is more about something I recommend in terms of general development, not just in terms of Minecraft modding. As part of this series, we will be making a mod together, and I intend to license that mod under the LGPL version 3, which is the license I prefer. Later on in the series, I'll explain what you need to do in terms of complying with that license in software development, what files you need to put where, what the disclaimers are that you need to put up in terms of that, and what you need to have in terms of class header files to say what the license is. So we'll do that in the future. At the beginning of this topic, I commented that this is one of the more controversial topics when it comes to Minecraft modding, so this is the only time I'm going to comment on the controversy in this entire series. The controversy is very intense. There are those who believe in a modder's copyrights to their works. There are those who do not. It is a very intense debate, and it has a tendency to cause flame wars, and that is something I do not want to see as part of this series. This topic was actually one that I consider dropping entirely from the series just because of that. The goal of this series is to talk and to teach about the common concepts in terms of making a mod and in general development, and to show people how to make something, particularly from Minecraft. I don't want to see this descend into a flame war. I'm going to expect that people be respectful in the YouTube comments and in online in forums and whatnot, respectful of both sides. Treat everyone with common courtesy. One of the things that does not help anyone is getting angry and really attacking someone. Let's focus on making the mods. Let's focus on learning how to mod. So now that we got that cherry topic out of the way, let's move on to the exciting world of version control. So this section is going to be pretty short. Version control, which also goes by the names of revision control or source control, is the idea and the methods of keeping track of the different states a document or documents are in at different points in time. So when it comes to code development, that allows you to track the differences between code in different points in time. Also from different people as well. So if you want to learn more about the general theory and what it all means and everything, by all means, I'll put some links in the description and whatnot on where you can go to learn more about it. The short of it is that it gives you a way to keep track of where you are at different points in time. So if you were ever to make a mistake or you were to realize, oh man, I had it right 3 days ago, what the hell was I doing with this other stuff? You can go back to that. Or if you were to have multiple people working on the same project, it allows you a nice way of managing who's doing what at different points in time. So you don't have someone editing one file and then you come back to it 3 hours later and someone's changed the file and you don't know what's changed. So the short of it is that version control is a good thing to have when you're doing development. So we'll be using that in some form during this series. We'll be using a particular implementation of version control ideas called Git. There's many ones out there. There's Subversion, SVN, is a common one. Git is another one. There's Mercurial. There's a number of them. So Git is what we'll be using, and we will be hosting the project on GitHub, which is a online free repository host for putting projects like this. So I will be doing that. You'll see that going up the next couple of days. I'm not going to disclose at this time what the mod we're going to be developing is, what it will do. We will worry about that once we actually get our development environment set up and everything. So when we actually get into real development, we will talk about what the mod will do, what the ideas are, and then we'll get started on that. So this video focused much more on the software licensing than it did on the version control, mostly because I don't want to become an academic in terms of how I am presenting this stuff to you guys. A lot of comments on the last one was things were a little bit more too focused on reading off the slides. So this one, I attempted to do this video in much more of a freeform format, so please let me know if you like the freeform format as opposed to prepared slides and really a structured presentation for this. So I hope you guys like the freeform. It's a little bit more natural for me. So in the next episode, we are going to talk about helpful tools. in particular that I like to use in terms of my software development, and how to actually set up our development environment itself in terms of how I like to set it up, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about how other people have done it as well. So if you've liked this video, please like it, favorite it, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, visit my website www.pahimar.com, and please leave constructive, nice, respectful comments in the YouTube video. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. I'm hoping that the next one can come out shortly after this one. This one took a little bit longer to get my head wrapped around. The first couple of videos are much more conceptual, and then the later videos will actually get more into the meat and potatoes of how to make mods. So I hope you guys have liked this one, and we'll see you